Hey guys, Coach Logan here again. Let's see who we can find as an opponent. Okay, Bay Hacker 2396. So he's some sort of tech bro from San Francisco is my guess. What is he going to do? Alright, so we've got a Slav, exchange Slav. Let's try to stay up on time. And these positions tend to be a little bit boring and difficult to make too much hay out of, so just try to stay up on time. Okay, alright. Let's defend that knight. You can, of course, grab the bishop pair here, but I don't know how much the bishop pair is actually going to matter in a position like this. Sort of totally symmetric. Pawn structure is pretty locked up. Okay, let's defend that. I was willing to trade bishops because that would lessen the impact of his bishop pair. But he doesn't seem to want to do that, so we'll just castle. Keep everything kind of together here. So maybe I was a little bit worried about knight to a4, but he didn't seem to want to do that. Maybe he's trying to get an f5. Okay, I might go for b5 here to grab more space on the queen side. If he plays f5, I think I'm ready to play e5, and I don't see his breakthrough. So keep an eye out for that though. Alright, let's bring this rook to c8. Let's keep these rooks both on the right of my queen. Doing a pretty good job keeping pace and time now. Alright, I feel like this knight is not the most useful here, although if I move it, maybe he can play f5 and it's a little bit harder to play e5. Still, I want to get this knight to c4. And from there, I think it's pretty good. Knight on c4, it's threatening knight into d2. It's putting some pressure on e3 and b2. And if he takes me, I take with the rook, and then I can slide my other rook over, and I'm starting to make some progress on the queen side there. So, yeah, this looks decent. Okay, I'm going to lift this rook ever so gently. Stack the other rook. I think I'm doing okay. I don't see too much danger here. Okay. Where to with the knight? Maybe it's good to give some extra support to the e4 square and to the f5 square. Alright, let's keep control of the file. Okay, prove my pieces. I'm gonna once again lift this rook. I'm gonna try to make an Alekhine's gun here on the c file. I think my queen was sort of struggling for something to do, and playing the rooks as such and then tucking the queen on c8 gives me better control of the file. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Alright, so we're getting an interesting motif out of this game. Okay, now how can we make progress? Alright, let's drop the rook in to bother this bishop. This is how we can put our control of the file to use. Okay, let's actually swing this bishop around to a5. Okay, and then we can, let's go knight e4. If he takes, then I'm threatening the e3 pawn. Just one accomplishment at a time. Okay, I'm threatening the pawn on e3. My king, I've left my king a little bit in the lurch here, so he could be maybe, okay, if he takes, alright, alright, let's take that. Okay, he's hitting f7. Let's play rook c1. I'm attacking his rook, so he can take on f7, but I play king h7, and I don't know, he's got to at least watch out for rook takes f1. If my queen's able to invade, I should be fine. Alright, let's bring my king here. This way Can't get his knight in so easily. He might just take a perpetual. Okay, alright, well this does let my queen in. The question is, can his king escape? Maybe it can. No it can't, I have queen e1. Oops, guy, you got checkmated. Alright, that was an interesting finish there. Okay, I probably shouldn't have allowed queen takes f7, but I was starting to get low on time, and I just really wanted to get some activity, so I really wanted to invade the back rank. Let's see, Josh is challenging me. Sorry, Josh, another time. I'll have to deal with that later. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so we should talk about the opening. So it started out as an English, but it quickly transposed into a Slav. He exchanged. This is a notoriously kind of, I would say, boring variation, but it's not even as boring. It's just annoying because you get this symmetrical position where white is like just up one tempo. Like if you look at this here, right, white has pawns already exchanged along the c-file, but white's bishop is developed on f4, so that's a lead in development for him. I could play bishop f5 here. It's one of the main moves, but you're always going to deal with this nagging lead in development. So I played a6, which is often a useful move to control this square, prepare b5 in some lines. He went knight e5. And here, okay, I don't know what the theory says. I'll have to look at this line. I went bishop d7, just so that if he takes on c6, I can take back with the bishop, so I don't compromise my structure. He went right for the bishop pair, which is somewhat understandable. He's just grabbing what should be like a static advantage, but at the same time, in exchange Slav positions, you know, one of the nice things about the bishop pair is that there's like the board tends to open up as the game goes on. But it's hard to do that in exchange Slav because you've already traded the c-pawns, so your only lever to really open the position is e4, but that will leave you with an isolated d-pawn, and it's not so easy. He played e3, e6. I tried to swap bishops because if your opponent has a bishop pair, one of the best things you can do is trade off one of the pairs of bishops. That way, you know, a knight versus a bishop is not as bad as a knight and a bishop versus two bishops. He went bishop g5, bishop e7. h6, this all seemed pretty normal. He went for this f4, which made some sense, grabbing space, but yeah, now, I was a little bit concerned here about knight a4, threatening like this weak square. That actually seemed a little bit annoying. I'm going to have to do something uncomfortable here, like queen back to d8, or rook to b8, or something kind of useless there. I think that would have been a more serious continuation from f4, allowed me to get b5, take away this square, and now I think I liked my position. I thought I had chances to press on the queen side. Oh, okay. So it's saying after I played knight a4, sorry, knight a5, and I was worried about this at the time too. Earlier in the game, I was thinking, okay, if he plays f5, I can play e5, and I thought this should be good for me. I thought here I've got, you know, he's sort of what's the expression? I don't know, he didn't keep his powder dry here. He pushed this pawn and sort of went to try to open the position up, and I was able to keep it closed, and now I'm dominating the center, and I'm threatening to take on d4. This would be good for me. But when he played queen f3, okay, I wanted to bring the knight here, but in playing knight a5, I'm loosening my control of this square, so now maybe f5 would have been strong from him. I was thinking I would play knight c4 here, and if f takes e6, okay, I take back, and I thought I assessed this position as still roughly equal. The engine seems to like white in its infinite wisdom, and I think I know why. It's these some of these weak light squares by my king are a bit unsettling for the engine, plus the semi-open FL. Yeah, I could see this being a good attack for white. Alright, so he missed his chance to do that. He played king h1. Alright, that he allowed knight c4, so in chess you want to strike while the iron is hot. And now I just, we were in this kind of symmetric position, and I'm the one who's in control of the file, so I think I have just a pleasant advantage. And here, again, it's a struggle to improve pieces, so I decided to, you know, try to bring my queen back behind these two rooks, and now I've got all of my major pieces lined up on the file. That's called Alekhine's gun. And with my open file, I was able to maintain pressure on him, bringing the bishop around on that diagonal. Knight into e4 he took, and I think he's just still struggling to deal with the file. Takes, And, oh, okay, so they liked rook c1. They liked, all right, maybe it's saying it should have been a draw, but it didn't hate my idea. It thought that it should at least be a draw, which is kind of what I calculated when I played it. And I thought that, yeah, okay, I mean, his back rank issues are too severe, so he should probably just take a draw with queen f7 check. If king h8, it's saying he can play. Oh, that's interesting. If I play king h8, it's actually saying he has to give me this rook. There's an interesting one. Maybe I should have tried king h8. That would have been even more pressure. It's saying g3, takes. But the thing is, if I go for anything, like if I try to move my rook out, he has knight g6, and then he can just do knight f8, and I have to take a perpetual. I think the difference is if I had played, if he had played, let's say here, queen f7. Let's say I play king h8 directly. If he would go knight g6 directly, here I can go king h7, and now knight f8 doesn't work because I can take the knight and then take his rook, just to show that this would be back rank mate. So, okay, very interesting game, and a nice checkmate I got there using my queen, my bishop, and my pawn, which was absolutely necessary for this to be checkmate. So, interesting game, and I'll see you guys next time.